Kia ora everybody, and welcome to the Beer Jerk Beer of the Week video. I'm Luke, and who are you?
I don't know, I forgot myself.
It's been a while.
It has.
Good to have you back. I'm sure the Matt fans will be happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm Matt, and this week we are drinking Duncan's Mango Guava Smoothie Hazy IPA.
Just open the can, it's pretty aromatic.
Yeah, so Duncan's is one of our favourite breweries, and we've done a lot of work with George in the past. And George Duncan is a crazy sea captain with a sweet tooth.
Yeah, you'll spot George around beer festivals and things, and yeah, cheers. He just looks like the happiest man in New Zealand. He's always got a great big grin on his face, and he loves what he's doing. And in the past couple of years, he's really embraced the whole Willy Wonka chocolate factory vibe, and his beers are all the better for it, I suppose. A lot of people are into these sweet beers.
Yeah, absolutely. You probably heard us reference Duncan's a few times on recent episodes where we've been talking about people like One Drop over in Australia who are doing those kind of big, crazy, lactose-heavy, fruit-heavy beers. And he's really just right at the front of the pack in New Zealand when it comes to anything with lactose, those big, sweet pastry sours and the big fruited IPAs like this, as well as pastry stouts and stuff like that too.
So his brewery's in Parapara-Umu, so a bit north of Wellington. And well, you were actually there for the brew day when George first brewed with Moondog, right?
Yeah.
You helped brew that beer, which maybe was a bit of a catalyst for George starting to colouring outside the box. No, colouring outside the lines.
Yeah, so he'd already
thinking outside the box.
So that was early days. He'd already brewed his Whippy, which is his mango milkshake IPA, which is probably there's a lot of that genetics in here. But that was the strawberry slice of Whippy, which was the one we brewed with Moondog, which was really great fun.
That was a good beer of the week.
Yeah, it's a really cool brewery he's got there. It's actually he is using Tuatara's original kit, and his brewery is literally right across the road. You can go out the front door and see Tuatara just across the street there in Parapara there. And he's doing some really just the kind of stuff that I love. It's just fun. Is not beholden to any kind of conventions, and really kind of moving with the times, keeping ahead of the game, and just experimenting and being creative. And it's a really nice attitude towards beer. And as Luke mentioned, George is just a lovely guy that we love to work with.
Yeah, it's experimental, interesting stuff, and stuff that the brewer wants to be drinking, which is, I think, where you got a lot of the best products. He's not trying to be, he's not some jaded salesperson trying to create things that he thinks that will sell. He's making stuff that he's into, and it so happens that interest overlaps with a lot of beer drinkers.
Yeah, and you really see that come through in this beer. It's got a really nice kind of full, rounded sweetness on the body. It kind of sits kind of creamy on the palate, but it's just bursting with that fruit flavour. The mango really kind of, like, even from cracking the can, it kind of just sings on the aroma, and then sits on your palate just like a mango smoothie. It's got that real richness to it, and it's got no kind of hot burn, no heavy bitterness in the back end, but it's still kind of got enough to be supported and keep it in the realm of beer. Just.
Well, a lot of these beers are they have a sour base and they have a tartness that works so nicely with different fruits, but this is not a sour. This is a hazy IPA base, so it's sort of replaced. So of course, so many hops have flavors that are similar to this anyway, like mango, guava, passion fruit. So what George has done is sort of he's used fewer hops and just put those literal fruits in there, so that work nicely with the body.
Absolutely, and there is a little bit of a tartness to this, but it's not tartness from a sour base. It's tartness in the way that a mango is sweet but tart, and more sweet or more tart depending on what kind of mango you have. But yeah, so that kind of light acidity from the fruit does come across and kind of lighten the whole thing, where otherwise it could be kind of heavy and glaggy with that sweetness and that body that it's got. It comes across a lot cleaner than that, and because of the amount of real fruit that he's putting in there, it kind of it lightens it and kind of finishes a lot cleaner than something that's this sweet really has any right to.
It's a good beer. It's a unique beer. I think you jerks are going to enjoy it. Some of you will hate it, but that's always the point of Beer Jerk, right? You can't like every beer, and if we all liked every beer, that would be a pretty boring place to be.
Yeah. Make sure you check out what they've got going on. and he's just released another couple of cool beers, a Citra dip hopped.
We've got that in our Fresh IPA box, right?
Yes, so that's in the Fresh IPA box. I'm not sure we've talked about the Fresh IPA box on here before.
Tell the people.
Well, I was going to tell people. The Fresh IPA box is a selection that we do every month, where you get 5 different hazy IPA, five different fresh IPAs, and you get 2 of each. So they're all IPAs that we packaged within the last month. So some of them will be hazy, some of them will be West Coast IPAs, cold IPAs, dip hopped IPAs, double IPAs, all sorts, anything kind of that falls under that IPA banner. Super fresh, so you know they've been in great condition. They're stored cold in our chiller. If you're subscribed, rather than buying it as a one-off, they're also shipped cold, included in the price, to preserve that freshness for you. So yeah, it's a really great way to just keep on top of the latest IPA releases and drink them in great condition.
Well, most people in New Zealand drink craft beer that they buy from the supermarket or from bottle shops. So a lot of beer is not stored refrigerated, even though it might be in a fridge on the shelf when you buy it. It's not stored that way. And of course, all of our beers are, and that is a major thing with hoppy beers. They need to be kept cold. And also, you don't know when beer was packaged. So IPAs, of course, should be drunk as fresh as you can get them. And that's not the case, and especially with I think it's why a lot of beer drinkers really like drinking seasonals, because they know that beer only came out on Friday, so they know it's going to be fresh and taste good. Whereas there's so many amazing core range beers from all of our great New Zealand breweries that you could really easily end up with buying an 11-month-old can of IPA, which tastes nothing like what the brewer intended. So I feel like that's a major reason why a lot of people just shop at Beer Jug in general, because we turn our stock really quickly and we have fresh beers. But the Fresh IPA box is a way to absolutely guarantee you're drinking the freshest, best IPAs you can get.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's also, we like to put a range in there. So sometimes you've got great core range beers in there as well. So as I said, this month we've got that new Citra 100% Citra dip hop IPA from Duncan's. But alongside that, we've got Great Migration from the Clouds, which is a stunning core range beer. And again, just making sure that we're releasing that fresh. We've got Chupacabra, which is our new cold IPA, and we've got a hop hash dip hopped hazy from Sawmill, and
that was a great beer.
Yeah, and Heavy Hands from Southpaw. So getting some smaller breweries in there as well that you might not be able to get at your local bottle shop. But yeah, that's the Fresh IPA box. So that's just fresh right now. So if you order some now, you'll get some really great IPAs.
So as much as Matt has been absent from these videos for a few weeks, he's making up for it. He's going to be on national TV this Friday, so keep an eye out for him, talking about the Fresh Hop Harvest.
Yeah, Fresh Hop Harvest is coming up. We're doing a box for that, as we always do, 28 different beers. Unfortunately, there's no Fresh Hop bus trip around Auckland this year for obvious reasons. We didn't think shoving 20 people at a time into an incubator and then forcibly mingling them with other people is the greatest idea in the current climate. So if you're wanting to try Fresh Hop beers this year, the Fresh Hop mixed case is available for pre-order now, and that's shipping at some point in April whenever the last beer arrives, so that's what we're getting out of the door as soon as we can.
Yeah, perfect box to have. Just get a couple of friends together in the garden and have your own mini Fresh Hop festival.
Yeah, your own beer festival in the garden sounds like a great time while the weather's still good enough to do it before we head into winter and you have to be inside and all that bad stuff.
And we've got, so the Fresh Hop Harvest boxes, we've also got a couple of smaller boxes, so if you don't think you can handle all 28 beers from the Fresh Hop Harvest, you can just grab yourself a smaller pack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's enough waffling from us. Thank you for joining us. As always, we really appreciate you guys joining us to drink the beers of the week, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.